Welcome to the Samantha Leith podcast, episode 43. How to actually set goals you'll achieve in 2024. Welcome to the Samantha Leith podcast with me, Samantha Leith. I have a passion for exploring anything and everything that can help us to be extraordinary. Each week, I'm going to dive into a topic and explore it extensively because if there's something that makes for a better life, I want to learn about it and, more importantly, share it. And hey, you may just get the odd song thrown in. There'll be deep conversations, fun and frivolity, helpful tools for you to add to your life straight away, random musings about anything from coffee to sex, and information that may just blow your mind. This is a podcast for dreamers, believers, action takers, and achievers. It's personal development, but not as you know it. So it's not the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time you will hear me talking about goal setting. I love goal setting. I have used goal setting to achieve so much in my 49 and a half years on the planet. Even though I probably only started goal setting, 20s? Yeah, probably by 20s. Gosh, I wish I actually knew that. That would be a good thing for me to sit and think about. However, I've also used goal setting and the kind of belief that magic happens when you set and achieve goals to hurt myself, like as a form of kind of self-punishment, if you will, to kind of prove how crap I am when I don't actually achieve a goal. Now, I don't do that anymore, thank goodness, because I have gone and grown up. And I really understand now that it's so much more about what you do and who you become and how you actually have to evolve. And in so many areas of your life on the road to actually achieving a goal. And that can sometimes, in fact, a lot of the time, be so much more gratifying and just heart-filling and better for you than actually achieving the goal. So how are we going to do goals this year in 2024 a little bit differently to previous years to actually make that stuff happen? Now, I'm not going to go over all the ins and outs of goal setting. If you go to the Samantha Leith website, you can go to the freebies, there's a whole lot of stuff on goal setting. But the bottom line with goal setting, every time we want to talk about it, is we do want to make them smart or smarter, something like that. You know, they've got to fit into all those areas so we know that we are actually achieving it. Because if you just say, I want to be really funky, random thing for me to say. But how do you measure funky? And when do you want to be funky? And that was a really bad example, Samantha Mary. But you know what I mean? Like, we have to have something specific. We have to have that specificity. We have to have a time frame on it. We have to know that we can actually do it. It's got to be that measurable kind of thing, you know? And I believe more and more so now that goals have to be something that I am in more control of in life. So instead of, I think I mentioned this last week in the podcast, instead of saying I want, 1 million followers on Facebook. Imagine having 1 million followers on Facebook. That just blows my mind. Anyway, that's totally not in my control at all. What would be in my control is posting 2 times a day or doing a Gary V and posting 100 times a day. Whatever we do. That's actually something that's achievable by me, measurable by me, because I have control over it. So I'm really morphing more and more of how I think about my goals into things that I have more control over. Now, that's not to say I'm a control freak, although that does pop up and rear its ugly head every so often, but not all the time. But I'm not changing how I plan my goals. So I still want them to follow that smart pattern. And I still want them in every single area of my life. So when I talk about that, I talk about, if you want to do your life assessment or your wheel of life, again, you can get it on the website. I want to talk about our physical health, my mental health, romantic love, financial fitness, family and friends, business, career, physical environment, fun and recreation, spirituality, contribution. I want to look at all of those areas. Now, if I was to set a goal in all of those areas, that would be really dumb. Okay, I'm using the D word there, people. It would be really dumb because I would be so busy trying to achieve all these different things in all these different areas of my life that I'm not going to do it. And life would get complicated. I'd get tired. I'd get frustrated. Like, it's not going to work. But I still want you to think about all of those areas. And yet think about something like, as we thought about a couple of weeks ago about looking at last year, what is something you'd like to accomplish in each of those areas? Maybe something you didn't accomplish last year that you'd like to accomplish this year. Yeah, it's a really good place to start. And when you're thinking about that, if you've come up with a couple of things that, okay, I want to look at fitness, for example. I may have mentioned it before, but I turned 50 this year. And I want to feel as fit as I've ever felt in my life on that night of my 50th birthday party. And that is achievable, okay? However, I'm not 100% sure what that fitness looks like as far as the specificity, because I haven't been there. So I don't know if there's a certain magic weight number or certain magic body fat percentage or certain number of kilometers I can do on the treadmill or any of that kind of thing. So I've set my goal around that, about how often I work out, how much water I drink, how much alcohol I consume, all of those kind of things. And I've kind of turned them into do goals rather than a full goal. And I talk a lot about do goals in what I call the Do It Diet. And if you go onto my website, I think it's still there, and we'll pop the link in the show notes, or we'll work out how you can get it. We'll add it to the website or something, because I haven't actually done it for a while. But I really believe in that method. So I'm kind of focusing more on do goals rather than bigger goals for this year for myself. So I want to talk to you, encourage you, I guess, to actually look at doing your goals this way this year as well. Because it's something that you can then build into your habits more. Because when we're talking about habit setting, they go hand in hand. They're like habits and goals are like a marriage. They're just like a perfect partnership. They work so well together. And we can talk about it on the negative as well. Like if you're not sticking to the habits that you want, or you have some, let's just say, not so fantastic habits in your life, then chances are you're not going to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, no matter what they are. Because those habits creep into your life and then you go, oh, I can't be bothered doing that. Oh, I'm too tired to do that. Oh, but that invitation just sounds so much more exciting than going to the gym. You know what I mean? We've all heard those things. So we want whatever it is we're doing this year in order to achieve our goals to become a habit. And the way to become a habit is to do this daily kind of step in order to do them. So when we're talking about the habit loop, there's a trigger, there's the habit that we do, there's a reward, we go round and round and round. And I can't remember what podcast episode it is, but it is in there if you want to have another listen to it. Again, we'll link that in the show notes. But when you understand how habits work, you can really understand the importance of setting up habits that are going to support your goals, support your dreams, support where you want to go in life, and the changes that you want to make in your life, or you have to make in your life, I should say, for a lot of us, in order to actually get there. There are some days where you don't want to do the thing. You've set yourself a goal of, let's say, buying a new house this year. And in order to buy the new house this year, all your finances have to be looking at spick and span to get that mortgage. And one of the things you need to do that is make sure all your accounting's up to date, like your bills are paid on time. And you get home from a 12-hour day in the office and the last freaking thing you want to do is organise your bills. So you have a few days where you go, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. And slowly that habit creeps in and all of a sudden you're 2 months behind on actually organising any of that stuff, and you're getting a letter saying, oh, you haven't paid this bill. So you think, oh, I've got to form a better habit in order to support that goal. So you set aside time every Sunday night to sit down and actually go through all your finances and make sure they're all hunky-dory, so you know in 3 months' time, 4 months' time, 5 months' time, whenever it is, that you can actually go for that goal of getting you the new mortgage, to go house shopping. How exciting does that sound? House shopping. Woo, that'd be so much fun. I've been in this house for 10 years now, and I used goal setting in a really, really big way to get this house, and manifestation, and it's a whole other story. So we won't go into that in this episode, because what I want to do is just really help you to set yourself up for success, like we talked about in the first week of January, to actually achieve your goals this year. So when you've grabbed a piece of paper, or you take a little voice memo, whatever it is, the way, or you grab the download, however you want to do it, once you've got those goals in each area of your life, remember, you can't have one in every single area because you're not going to get it done. Sorry. I want you to think about why you want to achieve the goal. You know, like, it's not a big enough reason to just go, because I want to. No, that's not going to drive you when it's raining, or when you're grumpy, or you get a better offer, or it's too humid and you don't want to do something. You've got to have a reason, something that's just fills your heart or drives you or makes you crazy with frustration in order to want that goal. It's got to be something really, really, really emotive, okay? That's when they're powerful. That's when they work. That's when things don't get you down, because there will be speed bumps along the way, my friends. So sorry to tell you, but it's not all going to be smooth sailing. How many different metaphors can I get into a thing? Smooth sailing, speed bumps. Pick a road and stick to it, Samantha. But you know what I mean? You just got to want it bad enough. You're not going to achieve things you don't want bad enough. And that I could almost promise you. Maybe you'll luck on a few of them, but the chances are really, really, really slim. So once you've done that, I want you to do that for as many of the goals as possible. You know, take your time with this. Grab a tea, a coffee, a wine, whatever you want. And then I want you to do the smart thing. So the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely, all of that stuff. I want you to do that. And then you're going to look back on them and you're going to go, oh, now that I've actually written all of that out, that one's not so doable this year, or not so doable in this 3 months, or not so doable in this 6 months. But hang on, it's achievable in 5 years. Because I should have actually looked this up before I started recording. There is a quote about people being unrealistic about what they can achieve in a year. So we kind of almost go, oh my gosh, I can achieve everything in 12 months, and we fail. But we don't go, oh, I could achieve all these amazing things in 3 or 5 years. So we don't plan for that. We kind of want these faster fixes. And I think it's actually getting worse in today's age, where everything we can do at the click of a finger. We can jump online. We can, change our nose if we don't like it. We can do all these things really, really quickly, how and when we want to. So I think that time frame's probably actually getting shorter and shorter, unfortunately. So you might look at some of those things on your list and go, yeah, that's just not going to happen this year. So I'm going to make it a 3-year goal or a 5-year goal. And then once you've got 3 or 5 bigger picture goals that you want to achieve this year, maybe you've got a few more. And this is where the magic happens. Say you've got 2 goals, one's a financial one and one's a business one. And they may be able to kind of go hand in hand. So think about it. You have a goal to earn X amount of money this year, and you have your own business. So in order to do that, you need to have 10 more consulting clients this year to get to that number. So you go, oh, hang on. Oh, so I want to build my business and I want to have all this money. To do that, I need to, based on my conversion rate, I need to speak to 10 people a day or 5 people a day, pick a number. So instead of the bigger picture goal, what you're going to do is set yourself a do goal of those reaching out to people every single day. See where I'm going with this? And then that ties into your bigger picture goal. So every day when you're journaling, you're going to talk about your bigger picture goal because that's going to be that driving force. That's going to keep you going. But you're alongside that going to set these amazing do goals that work hand in hand with them in order to help you achieve that goal. And what you want to do, you can form habits based on it. You can put up a chart on your wall. I've got some Canva templates that we'll also put the link in the show notes for, where you can like mark off, I made that call, I did that reel, I, wrote that letter, I went to the gym, I drank 8 cups of water. Whatever it is that your daily do goal that will go with that, I want you to mark it because that's going to keep driving you. And then when you're looking at it and you can go, uh-oh, I only had 5 hours sleep last night. It's not great. But you go, oh, hang on. I've had my 8 hours sleep for 24 nights in a row. I am a legend, so I can pick myself up and keep going. And charting that really, really, really helps. Like a pinky promise you. And what I really encourage you to do, and I encourage all my clients to do, is set yourself a reward. We're humans. We like being rewarded for stuff, Actually, that's not even true. The Labrador likes getting rewarded for stuff. Everybody, everything, every creature likes getting rewarded for stuff. I'm not going to come over to your place with a little jar of treats that you've got to grab out while you're achieving your daily do goals. But I encourage you to actually set yourself some rewards for things. Maybe it's going and having a facial, buying a book, booking a coaching session. There you go. Joining the club. There could be all sorts of things that you want to do. And I want you to and do it. Stick to it. Like, don't get to the point where you go, I am good. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I made my 5 phone calls every single day for 31 days. Oh no, that's a bit silly to go into Mecca and spend $100. No, I won't do it. Make sure you have the reward. It will keep you going. It will just put that little bit of a fire in your belly and make you feel good about actually doing it. Something for yourself, So this is all about. It's these things that we do every day consistently over a period of time change us. They really, really, really change us. And have to believe for the better. We get closer to achieving what we want. We get closer to, that dream, believe, act and achieve thing that I talk about. And it's these habits that go, the daily do goals that become habits that are underlying our goals that actually make all that stuff happen. Okay? And the last thing I want to talk about on this is that big sticky overwhelm thing. I am a, brooch wearing, card carrying expert in overwhelming myself with having too much to do, too many lists, too many charts to check off, too much, because I thought the more I did, the more I could do, the more I could prove to myself that I could do all of these things, the better person I would be, the happier I'd be, the better I'd feel about myself, all of those things. But the problem with setting myself up with so many things to do all the time is I failed. And I didn't realise, I don't think at the time, but now in hindsight, how much over, in particular the last couple of years, when I have fallen off the wagon, so to speak, with doing this for myself, it really has taken a toll on how I feel about myself and then what I actually go on to do the next day or the next hour or the next week or the next month, etc. So please be kind to yourself and reduce. So instead of saying there's 10 things I want to achieve this year and every day I need to do 100 things in order to achieve those 10 things, no. 3 to 5 things. Now I normally do 5 goals and 5 actions. So each goal has one action, which I call the daily do goal. And I do that 5 days a week. So 5 by 5 by 5. Okay. Even if at its most basic, you want to go back to the fitness thing, most personal trainers, fitness programs, etc., will tell you you need to have a couple of rest days. Like just go for a walk. You don't need to, do a pump class or go for a 10K run or whatever it is you're thinking about. You need rest days. And I think that's the same for when we're working on our goals. Heck, if you look at The Rock, the man is a legend and he has a cheat day built into his life. Because we can't be that strict on ourselves 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We fall, we fail. It's human nature, okay? So 5 by 5 by 5, that's pretty freaking simple. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to put it in your diary. You are going to put it in your diary when you are going to achieve these things, when you're going to do them, how they're going to fit into your life. And you're going to mark it off at having it gotten done, and you're going to work out how they fit into each of those goals, and you're going to freaking celebrate along the way. And you're going to be prepared for speed bumps because they will happen. But because you're not in overwhelm about what you're trying to achieve, you'll do it. You'll be like, oh, okay, speed bump, that's okay. I can get back on the bus tomorrow. Had a bad day, something happened. I'm just tired. I got a cold. You know how often I thought I was the world's worst parent, terrible person, what a failure I am, because I fell off the wagon or stopped marking a few days when I was sick? I think back now and I'm just like, oh, Samantha, no. We've got to be kind to ourselves. Being kind to ourselves, if we're not going to be kind to ourselves, nobody else is going to be kind to us. We have to show ourselves love and show the world how much we love ourselves in order to receive more love. It's most simple terms. So setting up goals in a way that you're on the cycle of punishment and I've got to achieve or I'm hopeless, I've got to achieve or I'm hopeless, oh, I fell over, I'm hopeless, is just one of the worst things you can do for yourself. Okay, so please try not to do it. Please, pretty please. Oh, I'll get off my soapbox now. Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about this week, about how to set yourself up for success within your goals by doing this practice of daily do goals, okay? So remember, I want you to work out all your goals. Didn't go through that in depth, but make sure they're smart. Don't have a gazillion of them, but look at your key areas of your life. Then I want you to pick 5, okay? You can pick 3 if you want to do this and do it 3 days a week. Just pick a number that works for you. But whatever number that is, have one action that goes alongside that goal that you repeat for those number of days a week, okay? If it's a running goal and you're learning how to run, then it's I run 3 times a week as part of that daily do goal that will then become the habit. I can hear you all saying that back to me as I do it. Okay, until next week, my friends, have an extraordinary week. And don't forget, I will believe in you until you believe in yourself. Bye. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Samantha Leith podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to dive deeper into the world of personal development and what's possible for you, then I'd love to invite you to join the club. It's my monthly membership designed to guide and support you with the tools and the coaching you need to be extraordinary. Head on over to samanthaleith.com/the club for more information. I'd love to see you on the inside.